A classic Widow Jane 10-year. It's like, it's a very fruity nose.
Yeah, it's
very fruity.
I just get pineapple on it.
I get like
stone fruit, maybe. I don't get berries on this one.
No, not at all. It almost smells like
fresh plum, maybe.
I almost get like it's not like a citrusy fruit.
Yeah, that's why I think like pineapple, stone fruit.
Like a tropical fruit almost, but not. I don't know if it's just me. I can't distinctively get pineapple out of it.
If you're not getting pineapple, then you're getting probably star fruit. Because star fruit is basically, at least in my opinion, pineapple light. It's not as acidic. It's not as sweet. It's not as like flavor punchy.
Right.
So maybe star fruit.
Yeah, it's definitely like a more tropical fruit.
It's got some wood spice on it, on the end of the nose.
No ethanol, no.
I get a little bit of ethanol, but not too much. I don't really get. I get a little bit of caramel, but that's like where most of the sweet comes from. It's like mostly fruit, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of wood spice.
Right.
No brown sugar.
No vanilla.
No vanilla. No really. None of the other like characteristic like oaky notes or characteristic bourbon notes.
Right. The only thing that really comes out is the words.
Fruit.
No, the
barrel spice.
Yes.
Yeah, barrel spice for sure.
Now it smells more like it's definitely star fruit, not pineapple.
I could get behind that.
It doesn't smell like it doesn't smell necessarily sweet enough to be pineapple to me.
Tastes very different.
Yes, it does. Almost.
A little bit hot.
It almost tastes a little salty to you.
Yeah,
just a tiny bit.
You're probably thinking salt, but to me it tastes very tannic. Like
no, it's distinctly different to me.
Oh, those do taste different to you?
Yeah.
To me, they're close enough that like I don't really differentiate them. I can see where you're coming from.
I wonder if it has to, because they use limestone mineral water. I wonder if that is where some of that.
The salt probably. Like you're getting salt. Yeah, probably.
I think that's where that's coming from. Because that would make sense.
Because I do get a bit of a mineral note. I wouldn't necessarily say salt, but I do get some mineral note to it. Like stone, like the smell, like if you could smell cold stone.
It's right. It's like
earthy, like
it's earthy, but not like grassy, not like something living. Kind of earthy. It tastes literally like the earth.
Like rock, dirt, earth, that kind of.
Not in a bad way either.
No. Without a doubt, not in a bad way. It's like almost refreshing in a way in that regard.
Right. That it just tastes pure, I think. Because they source from a couple different places, I believe.
Yeah.
And then age it.
As far as I know, yes. And I get that on the finish, not necessarily the aftertaste, more the finish, but
this is really different.
It is. Like, to me, it's very tannic.
It is.
We get that mineral note. I don't really get any of the fruit that I got on the nose.
No, not at all. In fact, it tastes pretty dry.
It's really dry. It is very dry.
Oak, leather. I got a little bit of leather, I think.
Yeah, I guess you could say leather. I would say that there's definitely some leather in that.
More in the finish to me. But it's like it's It's not the main presence, but it's definitely present.
Yeah, there's definitely some leather in there. And I would say tobacco, but like not good tobacco, like cigarette tobacco, I would say. I get some cigarette tobacco in it.
Got like a cheap Marlboro in here.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and call it American Spirit tobacco.
Okay, fair.
I wouldn't say it's that bad to be Marlboro.
Right. It's.
And yes, I did smoke these two in my past, so I can differentiate.
Would I have spent $70 on this? I don't
Fuck
know.
no.
It's interesting. It's not bad per se. I just don't think it's worth that kind of money. I think compared to having that Oakwood aged Widow Jane,
Yeah.
which I know you weren't the biggest fan of it. I really liked it.
I think my issue is that like I'm just not a fan of like these craft distilleries for the most part. Like
That's fair.
some of them blend very well, and some of them do a really good job. Like
That's why I like their more unique things like the oak and applewood aged.
yeah. But
like this is. I don't want to say it's bad. I just want to say it's not a $70 bottle. I would struggle to call it a $50 bottle.
for how tannic it is, because like tannic is not something that people look for in a bottle. Like
Right.
they want the sweeter, the fruitier, like pretty much anything but tannic. Like tannic is at the bottom of the list of something you want. With how
Right.
tannic this is, I don't even know if I would spend maybe like mid-20s. I would say it's worth, like to me at least, because it's by no means bottom shelf. It tastes way better than any bottom shelf whiskey. It tastes
It's
better
definitely drinkable on its own.
It's drinkable on its own, but
It's
I would struggle to spend more than $30 on it. Whenever $30 can get you like Knob Creek 9-year or Buffalo Trace or
I know you're not a fan of regular makers. I like regular makers.
I like it for what it is.
Right.
I just
but
don't
there's
need it
still
on my
other
home
stuff.
bar.
Right.
Like I do like regular makers. I just don't necessarily need it on my home bar.
Right.
But yeah, I would gladly drink makers if like I went up to
And,
a
like,
bar.
For me, this was a free bottle. So a free bottle
Which is why
is a good bottle.
I'm gonna risk it with a little bit of water and see if it
Yeah, you know what?
does
Let's do it.
anything.
Especially, it can't really hurt.
Yeah, after seeing what water did to Old Weller Antique, I will risk it for any. Well, especially if I'm not a huge fan of what I'm drinking, I'll gladly.
There's
pour
no
water
harm
and see
in
what
trying adding some water. I think I put a little bit more than you did, but
Maybe. Okay, I actually like the nose a little bit better.
it mellowed out.
I get more maple. I get some maple. A little bit of brown sugar, but there's still.
It has some of those. It has more bourbon notes when you add a little water.
Yeah. So the nose, it does like it released a little bit of the fruit, but it did bring out some of the more traditional bourbon notes.
Because I liked the nose of it. It was pretty unique.
Yeah.
But I would take the nose not being as good if this tastes better when we're about to try this.
Yeah, let's see, because the nose did not represent the taste of it at all.
It did not.
And not in a good way. I think that helped it. To me, it's significantly less tannic. I get some almonds, some cashews, some pistachio.
It is pretty nutty.
Yeah, it's way nuttier now that we've like once you pour some water in.
Source from Jimmy confirmed?
Definitely not. There's no peanut.
No,
There's no
no peanut. It's every other kind of nut.
That was the same issue with Rebel Yell. Rebel Yell had everything but the peanut.
Right. It definitely helped.
Oh, without.
And now, like, it was already it was drinkable. Now it's like, I'd argue it's enjoyable once you put a little water in it. I'd argue that you could actually enjoy a glass of it. Again, would I spend the money? No.
No, but
it definitely made it better.
It went from being like mid-20s to like, if I was in the mood for it, like this could be a $40 bottle.
Right.
It would not be
but at $40 I would buy, if I wanted a 10-year, I'd buy Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Or from what I've heard, Russell's 10 year. And if it's if the rye is any indication.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Like Russell's Reserve is nothing but like higher end, easily, readily available wild turkey. At least the bourbon. The rye, I think, is significantly better than wild turkey rye. Russell's Reserve 6-year rye is one of the better ryes I've had. Like,
Right.
For me, it's tied with Knob Creek rye, which I know a lot of people aren't fans of Knob Creek rye, but for me personally, it hits everything I want, and it's not super sweet. Because if I'm drinking a rye, that's what I want. I want everything but the sweet.
Right. No, I mean, so our conclusion is that this is definitely not worth the money. But add a little water, and you'll at least enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're crazy and you like the tannic flavor, I mean, then it's good for you. But
yeah,
if that's where your flavor profile or your palate is, go for it. But that's not most bourbon drinkers. If you're a regular bourbon drinker, you probably will not like this. Now, hear me out here. If you like dry red wines, like Cabernets, that are very tannic, you might like this more.
This is like
you might be more inclined to like this. But, I mean, yeah. Considering this was gifted, it was more than worth free. But it's definitely better than anything you would buy for probably under $30 adding the water to it.
I agree with that.
But if I could buy this at $40, I'd probably pick it over a good number of the options there are. But only at $40, only at $30-$40.
Yeah.
And even then, depending on what's available, I mean, I'd still take Eagle Rare any day of the week.
Which needs to be said, this does not compare to Eagle Rare either. Eagle Rare is very, very sweet for what it is, and it has that distinct.
Or this is just super tannic for what it is.
Yeah.
Or a mix of both.
Yeah.
Eagle Rare is pretty sweet. This is, I mean,
Eagle Rare, I think the only reason you can compare to this is because of the 10-year. Other than that, it blows this.
I have a feeling the Russell's is more comparable to the Eagle Rare than this.
Probably. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I bet you it's more middle ground, where it's not as sweet, but it's not tannic like this is.
Oh yeah, if it's a wild turkey product, sweet is not what they're going for with wild turkey.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's probably like I said, middle of the road.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, definitely not my favorite. Will I drink it? Fuck yeah. I got it for free. Why the fuck wouldn't I drink it? It's definitely worth that. But like, it's one of those ones where I'll have to be in a mood for it. And being in the mood for something I have to water down a little bit, I don't know. It doesn't happen a lot. It's one of these that might sit on my shelf for a while. But there'll be that times where I want it.
I gotta disagree with that. Like, if I'm gonna water something down, like, or want something because I want to water it down, because I mean, I do like Old Weller Antique, and I water that down.
That's true.
The only reason I've been slow on that bottle is because I know we've been wanting to do different
tastings with it.
Yes, that I've been like, okay, I can slow down on this. There's no reason because I got other stuff I want. But yeah,
Right.
honestly, I probably would have crushed that bottle by now. Hell yeah!
Ben scored.
At least it's not a blowout.
Yeah, right.
Oh, also.
He seems hurt. But anyway, yeah, that's our verdict on the Widow Jane 10. Not our favorite. Definitely could be worse. And water definitely helps.
Cheers, bro.